Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we're here to look at a brand new palette from Tarte. Actually, it's a palette. It's a big one. It's the brand new Tarte Maneater Nightfall Eyeshadow Palette. It is 24 shades, really, really big. We're going to talk about it, do some comparisons, and since as you see, I am not wearing anything on my eyes but some mascara, we're going to do two different looks with it because it's really big. We could do probably 30 different looks, but we're going to do two. I think that's good enough. Okay, this is the second this week. Yesterday I did the new Too Faced Maple Syrup Pancakes palette, and I told you, I was kind of embarrassed to say because it was August, I told you it was a holiday release. And this one I'm filming in August, so it's still kind of August, but you're seeing it in September. Notice that the Santa hat is still on the Highland cow named Princey. Simo named our Highland cow. That is our little mascot here. That means this too is a holiday palette. That's right. Yeah, holiday is starting already. Some are calling it fall releases, but Tarte, and indeed yesterday Too Faced, are referring to these releases as holiday. Okay, so the Maneater palette has been around for a while. This one is kind of a deep dark, almost eggplanty purple, and we are used to, we'll look at last year's, we are used to this kind of animal imprint on it. This time it's, like I said, a dark purple on purple, or eggplant on eggplant. Aubergine, you would say in the UK. This is the Nightfall edition. It is $52, which is actually, I don't want to say it's fairly priced because it's not like I'm out of touch with the fact that we all have trouble paying bills these days, but for what it is and for, high-end, and this is considered mid to high-end price makeup, it's not too bad, especially for 24 shades with unexpected pops of color and warm and cool shades. Look at that. Let me make sure it's out of the light. Don't worry, I'm going to swatch it in two different lights and we'll compare it. We got warm and cool. We got 8 shades have that pressed in Maneater animal print on it. We got 12-hour wear promised with these. Last year we looked at the Maneater After Dark, and my only complaint with it, it's a beautiful palette, as is this one, but my only complaint with last year's is that it went a little bit dark. Like, if I wasn't really careful last year, it was almost too sultry of a look, believe it or not. So let's compare the two. We're going to do, let me back up before we compare the two. Let's just first look at this new one alone, because this is the brand new 2023 holiday. So let's do this alone. Rebecca, hold your horses here. Cool your jets. Here we go. Let's look at it first, all alone, in studio lighting as it is laid out in the palette. Here is this year's holiday 2023 Tarte Maneater Nightfall Eyeshadow Palette for $52. I have to rotate. I have to do some serious arm rotating to show it to you laid out the way that it is in the palette. They're really pretty. It's nice and warm and cool. There's something for everyone. I'm curious to see if it will go as dark on the eyes. You see, last year's Maneater After Dark, I didn't realize was going to go that dark, if that makes sense. Some of the shades last year had like a really black onyx shift to them, which I found surprising. Let's take a look at this little guy, this brand new one, outside in the warm California sunshine. Holiday palette, it's like 100 degrees here. How is that possible? But there you can see it really well as I rotate my arm so that you can see all 4 rows. It's beautiful, and that shade for me that's really unexpected, you guys, is this one, this kind of aqua shade. I'm like, whoa, where's that come from? Everything else kind of seems to work, but this one, I'm like, what? Hello? He like snuck in there or something. I don't know. All right, let's compare it. Now I can speed us back up. So last year we had 2, actually. We had this Vanity. Do you guys remember Tarte had the Maneater Vanity? It was like a little one. I took the mascara out of it, but it came with the mascara. And these shades, look, I'm not going to compare it. some of those brown shades are awfully similar, but this is like yesterday when I did the Too Faced palette. There's just comparing a lot of brown shades. Look, I'm super happy to do it for you over on Instagram, but you know, brown is brown. I know they can be similar. Again, I'm not gonna laugh at you if you request it down below or over on Instagram. My pleasure, but I'm just not gonna take our time to do that now. Let's compare it, however, with a larger Maneater After Dark from last year. So here's last year's palette, and you can see already its propensity to kind of going dark. But this one was called After Dark, and this one's called Nightfall, so perhaps it'll live up to its name. Again, here's the new one. I'm just shaking it up and down, and here is last year's. So this one I'm shaking is After Dark, and this one is the brand new Nightfall. In other words, another name for After Dark. Okay, and then this time, I don't have to rotate my arm quite as much. What I have done is taken off the swatches that I did in the order, the way you'd see it laid out. I just did them straight across. So we have our brand new Maneater Nightfall eyeshadow palette above last year's Maneater After Dark palette, just in a straight row. It actually looks like quite a mess on my arm, to be honest with you. I apologize about that, but I just wanted to get them all on there, and I guess I just don't really have very long arms. I don't know. You know, you don't know this about yourself till you start trying to do a YouTube video with swatches and you go, whoa, I am out of arm. I am out of arm. Okay, let's go ahead and do two different looks on two different eyes. And like I said, we could go on and on and on, but as you guys know, I'm a journalist, a beauty editor, not a makeup artist. So we're really just testing out how the formulas feel. Not so much technique, right? Okay, that's where my area of expertise is. I will tell you this, on the swatches, they feel very similar. Same formula, same kind of glittery texture, especially with these, the ones here that are imprinted with the animal print, very similar, slightly chunky, thicker glitter, exactly like last year's if you have it in terms of texture. All right, let's do two different shades. They do all have names, which rather than squinting out in my lighting here, I will go ahead and put onto the screen. I brought over a ton of Sonia G brushes today. So we're gonna start, let's do kind of a peachy look up here on this eye, and then we'll go a little darker on the other, which terrifies me, but let's go out of our comfort zone. So I'm gonna go in right here. I was gonna be a big chicken and go next to it, but let's go in right here. I don't need to be that much of a chicken. And I'm just going to put this into the crease and up. There we go. That shade right there into the crease and up, doing a peachy. You can really do any look you want with these. But last year's, I don't know. Last year's I could do any look I wanted as long as it was kind of a darker, sultry look. I don't always want to be sultry, only sometimes. Okay. Let's skip around here and go to this one. I'm going to stay in these top two rows, and then I'm just going to go on the outside of the eye and up just on the outside. And same brush, I'm going to work it a little bit under. Yeah, I have my mascara on already, out of order, but why not? Okay, why not? And already really pretty and not too dark. Last year, I just kind of felt, I know I've said this already, but I just kind of felt like it was always getting away from me. I'm using the same brush into this shade here, a little bit of a more satiny shade, and I want to put that just across the lid. We're doing a really just kind of different shades of peach eye so far, and I kind of like it. Very pretty. Now, I know we need to go in right here, so let me just show you how this one works. There it is, there on my finger, and I'm just going to put it all the way across. And yes, there is a bit of fallout with these. They're very thick. Fallout doesn't bother me, you guys. I am not someone who's annoyed by fallout, so I'd be the wrong person to ask, but they can fall out. If that bothers you, do your complexion after, okay? Or even put a nice big like baking powder under there that you can fluff away. Face baking powder. If you have not cookie baking powder, but you know, you do you. Okay, and we also have some actual glitter shades, which I am going to take this into just so we can try it all out. Very much the same formula as last year. There's been no changes there. And I'm going to go into that glitter shade and just kind of bring it into that kind of imprinted shade there. And that is one look already done. See what you think. So we kind of went with a peachy, almost copper shade. Very pretty, didn't get too dark. Now, let's get into the darker shades and we'll see if it gets dark. Now you're gonna say to me, what do you mean last year's got too dark? Yeah, I just felt there's nothing in there that could really work for day. I know it was called After Dark and this one is called Nightfall, but you know, I mean, I still want, if I'm paying it the money, I want to be able to wear it in the day too. Okay, so we're gonna go, I don't know if I even like this weird minty shade, guys. I don't know. All right, so let's try to keep it light by starting here and let's just cover the whole eye in this. Now, I don't know if this will keep it light or make it darker because I'm kind of whitening and brightening the eye, kind of highlighting the whole eye. Oh, I'm gonna look goofy here with these two different eye shades. All right, let's go in here. Same brush. I'm using a Sonia G brush, Pro brush, and I'm just gonna do the outside of the eye. I made the whole eye kind of white. I'm just gonna do the outside. Okay, and up. Switch brushes and let's take that same shade and just go underneath. All right, so far so good. And I can live with it. Not too dark, no problem. Sultry, but not too sultry. There is such a thing as too sultry. Okay, now this is where we could get in trouble, and I really want to go here to stay out of trouble, but let's go looking for some trouble. I'm going to put it on the brush there and go in here. And I'm going to try to stick, look at, did you see my face? Let me do it again for you. I don't like eyeshadow that's too dark, so let's just give it a try. Okay, well, I knocked it off the brush a little bit, and I'm using the brush, not my finger, and I'm okay with it. This is not really, I mean, it's getting there, but when I blend it into the red, and I'm going to put that little bit of red, whatever that maroon shade is, back on there again. Okay, that's not bad at all, guys. That's not bad at all. It is getting a bit dark, but I mean, it's called Nightfall, and I am in the two dark rows. You know, what do I expect? It's not too bad, especially because this one is nice and light and lifted and fun. I gotta be careful that these kind of purpley reds don't go into a bruise-like look, though. So I'm kind of getting my finger in there, making sure everything is really blended. See, we gotta be careful it doesn't look like a healing bruise, right? Okay, hopefully we can avoid that. And let's go into this shade here. I'm trying to use kind of one of each and just brighten up the inner corner. And then, now, this is what fooled me last time. This ended up going a little bit dark with a shift, and it's not this time. Ah, yes, I like that. This is lightening it up. It was starting to look a little bit like a bruise. Who are we kidding? Let me change my grip here. It's a little heavy to hold it. And I am instead just kind of running it over, and now I'm okay with it. But you guys have to tell me. Let me cover this eye so that you're not confused. It's hard to look at someone with two different eye looks. Okay, and both together just to confuse you. What do you think? Let me take another look myself. Oh, I'm happy with that. I am. I'm happy with both looks, even though this one is, of course, darker. It's not too dark. Last year's, I don't need to keep saying it. I thought it was a little too dark. I like this year's better. I really, really do. I think it's awfully pretty. Now, if you did not see a swatch comparison that you needed, or if you want me to compare brown shades for you, I don't mind doing it. I get it. We're all trying to save money where we can. You're welcome to ask here, to ask me over on Instagram. If you ask here, could you give me your Instagram screen name? It just makes it quicker for me to tag you. Okay, I'm happy to do that for you. What do you guys think? I was surprised yesterday, if I may be very honest. I was surprised yesterday. A lot of negativity towards the Too Faced Maple Syrup Pancakes palette. We're going to try the Too Faced Popcorn one, the mini, as well. But I wonder how everyone's going to feel about this Tarte Maneater. Last year, everyone was really excited about it. I wonder how you guys are going to feel today. I kind of realized that my channel can be a little bit of a de facto marketing firm where I can tell you what's going to do well because of how you guys react to videos. So let's see what we all think in comments. I mean, this is what makes us a community. So let me know. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. Hey, if you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, actually hitting the subscribe button. I know the videos can get recommended, but actually hit it. It helps me I appreciate it, guys. And while you're at it, come on over and say a big hello on Instagram, on TikTok, and now on Threads. Don't forget that you can become a bigger part of this YouTube community by purchasing from the links below. Every little bit helps. Giving super thanks, or by becoming a channel member where you get invited to weekly members-only lives and you get the gossip in the back, cool story on everything. But in reality, in any way that you choose to spend your time here, please know that I am very grateful and thrilled to have you, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye-bye.